Going political may have killed the superhero genre. Jurassic World Rebirth as well as F1 are doing fantastic at the box office, reaping the rewards of going to the mainstream middle, the sensible center, where money is made. But Superman and Fantastic Four, they look to be shown the door by audiences. It could be a very dark July after a wonderful Independence weekend box office bonanza. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to keep you ahead of the culture curve, explain what is going on in entertainment. And yes, folks, that's what we're doing today. Don't think you've gone insane. Yes, Jurassic World Rebirth is a bad movie, but it's not a bad movie economically. We're going to talk about it, but mostly we're here to talk about anti-American Stupperman and the stupor that Warner Brothers and Disney are going to be in at the end of this July. Click the like button. Let's dive in. Big topics today. Nancy Tartaglione out of Deadline has this one: Jurassic World Rebirth thundering towards a $312 million global opening, second best year to date. The Saturday update, which I thought we would have the Sunday by the time of the release for this video, but they were a little delayed. The dinosaur franchise is far from becoming extinct, as Universal Amblin's Jurassic World Rebirth is now looking at a $312.5 million opening, heads and tails higher than what we were seeing in our early week projection of $260. That is a massive increase. That's already the second biggest global opening of the year, just behind a Minecraft movie and ahead of Lilo and Stitch. And accounting for inflation and currency swings, it's the second best global opening in the Jurassic franchise, behind Jurassic World's $525 million. The dinosaurs are eating up an overseas weekend of $171.3, which is the second best offshore opening year to date, behind Neja 2 and ahead of Lilo and Stitch. Okay, so that's fantastic. By the way, F4 also performing extremely well, a tremendous hold. And so cinema owners are having a wonderful, wonderful time this weekend. But get ready, because things are not going to continue that way, unfortunately. For whereas dinosaurs continue to be an evergreen property, and even if you kind of put out something sloppily made, and even if you have ScarJo out there saying she's not going to show no more, she's a woman and she's not to be objectified, that's fine. She didn't go too far. She didn't become a Brie Larson. She didn't become a Rachel Zegler. But the superhero movies, they have been sacrificed at the altar of politics, as opposed to the T-Rexes and the race cars. Matt McGloin from Cosmic Book News reported this earlier. Now we've got way, way more about Superman. It seems that the leaks were true. New Superman ditches patriotism for politics under James Gunn. No American way. And by the way, what happened to Marvel? Well, Marvel did the same. Folks, I'm going to show you now why you can't do that. Okay? In today's political climate, you can't do that. And billions and billions and billions of dollars have been sacrificed by Marvel, and for Warner Brothers, it's far worse. Even though Marvel now will never, ever be the same, Superman failing, if that happens, that is as close to existential as you can get. It's not going to sink Warner Brothers, but it puts a huge hurt on them. I mean, it's incredibly bad. It's really, really bad for Warner Brothers. All right, so here's what we've got. Let me play the video from CNN, where some truth somehow snuck out. Here is CNN, and we're going to watch this together, and I'm going to explain why this is the full-blown explanation for what we've been saying here on this channel for so long. Get out of politics if you're entertainment. You can dabble, but don't stay there, because if you get into modern issues, one, your stuff ages so poorly, and two, the people making the stuff oftentimes are so far out of the mainstream, you can't do it. Get out of it. Mainstream, middle, sensible center, money made. Here's CNN.
2015, look at this. 4 out of 5 Democrats were extremely or very proud to be an American. That number has plummeted to just 36% now in 2025. A low this century, has fallen by more than half since 2015, as Donald Trump has become, of course, president once again this year.
Now hang tight, folks, because what we're going to find out in just a moment is that is not the political landscape for half the country.
Now, what is driving that decline? Well, a lot of it has to do with age. What are we talking about? Well, Generation Z Democrats, proud to be an American or not. Of course, Generation Z, born since 1997. Look at this. Only 24% of Generation Z Democrats are extremely or very proud to be an American. That is actually lower, Erica.
Now, folks, here's why we're watching the video. Because who is the largest demographic in terms of consuming movie tickets? Who goes to the cinema? It's always been this way. It's always going to be this way as far as I can tell. It's the kids. It's the younger generations that tend to go to movies more often. Now, yeah, you have some exceptions like Top Gun Maverick. I get it. F4 playing that same way. I mean, F1 playing that same way. But look, folks, look at this. 24% are very proud to be an American. In the younger Democrat demographic, 32% are not. They're not. Now, hang tight, okay? Because what we're looking at is the consumers. Who buys the movie tickets? Okay, here's half the aisle in America at that age. Let's see what the rest looks like.
That is lower than the percentage who say they have little or no pride to be an American at 32%. I just never thought I'd see these numbers based upon where we were a decade ago, but that's exactly where we are. Now, if Democrats have extremely less pride to be an American than they used to, what about Republicans? Well, this is where the trend line gets interesting.
And I don't have to go any farther. We can just stop here. You can see the difference, okay? 90% were proud in 2015, 90% are proud in 2025. And by the way, the younger generation we won't even go there. The younger generation matches up, okay? Now, I'm not here to get into the political side of this. I'm actually here to talk about the consumer side of it. Because people consume movie tickets. They go and they buy the popcorn and the tickets and all of that, okay? They get their diet sodas or whatever it is. They go into the movie theater, right? The purchasing tactics, the purchasing patterns of people who have this distinctly different view of the world, they don't line up. And so if you decide that you're going to make a movie that is political, whether it's Marvel or whether it is DC or whatever it is, like there's one way to really sink your property, and that is dive into the divisive social and political issues of the day. Why did Jurassic World Rebirth do what it did without being a great movie according to our reviews? Why? Because it refused to go woke or political. The chasm that exists between the way that the young left and the young right views the world, it is tremendously polarized. So if you insert politics into a movie, you're gonna at least sink that movie's box office by 50%. Because you've lost one or the other. They don't see eye to eye. They don't agree. They're so far apart, it's ridiculous. The only way to win then, and maybe the only way to heal the nation again, is to make entertainment that isn't divisive and brings the country together. Okay, so Superman is not doing that, right? We talked about that. We showed you the reveal, and it's true, right? That Superman is not truth, justice, in the American way. And maybe James Gunn got scared. Maybe he's seen statistics like that. But when you do that, that's a political decision as well. When you strip that out and say the human way, that is now a political decision that you've made. Would have been best to just not touch the slogan, don't have it in there, and that would have been apolitical. So what's going on with a Superman that's going to be a little bit on the political side? And we've heard this, by the way. I mean, Lex Luthor is supposed to be a stand-in for Elon Musk, right? You've got some allegories, some tales that seem to match up with the Orange Man. All right? Marvin Montanaro out of That Park Place has first Superman review releases early due to Daily Beast error, and it's not good. Now, the funny thing about this, of course, is the Daily Beast doesn't just lean left, it's way on the left. And they don't like Superman. So James Gunn has tried to come in and placate the people on the left, right? He's stripped out the offensive things to the left about Superman, probably. And it didn't win. Why did it not win, folks? Well, we just showed you. You can't be political. It's not the time to be political in terms of selling a blockbuster hit. It says the first official Superman review has been published, and it's not good news for Warner Brothers Discovery or the Daily Beast. With the Superman review embargo officially set to lift on July 8th, Warner Brothers has been keeping tight control over early critical reactions to James Gunn's highly anticipated DC reboot. However, that strategy hit a snag late last night when the Daily Beast accidentally published its review ahead of schedule, and it wasn't pretty. Though the review was quickly taken down, it stayed up long enough to send shockwaves through social media. Screenshots and summaries spread like wildfire, and the early verdict is already fueling doubts about the direction of DC's revamped cinematic universe. So what did this first published review have to say about Superman? It says the terrible new Superman is a final nail in superhero cinema's coffin. Now, I'm not going to get into the spoilers, right? I'm not going to do that. If you want to know the spoilers, we posted, I've been telling people what was in Superman like 3 weeks ago on the Patreon. We've got it. This is not the video for spoilers. I'll just say that Superman, if it fails this badly, it is a horrific hit on the superhero genre, and it may never recover. And this is it. And it will forever stain James Gunn's career. And he'll walk away as the guy who got a little bit lucky with the first Guardians and then rode that. And that's going to be it. That's going to be it. And what will have been the death knell for the superhero genre? Wading into politics, going political, not recognizing where the middle is. And it's much farther right than these people realize. I don't think they even realize that they're on the left sometimes. We've looked at some statistics there in the past about that. So Superman in trouble. Fantastic Four, look out, because that's going to be that's going to leave no doubt. And then we're down to, folks, I mean, we're at the precipice here, right? We're ready to pull the machine. We're ready to pull the life support for the superhero genre, because if this goes down the way we think it's going to go down, all that's left is Avengers Doomsday. And if it does not succeed, it's done. It's done. I mean, we'll have some superhero movies, but they'll move on. This will become the Western genre of the day. Meanwhile, dinosaurs will continue to roar. Meanwhile, race cars and aeroplane movies will be just fine. And why? Why, folks? Well, because they refuse to go divisive. They refuse to go political. By the way, Disney Animation is learning they're learning that lesson at the last second. How's that? Elio is still a reminder. They didn't learn it until just a day ago. And that's why they're going back as fast as they can to making family-friendly stuff that doesn't require you to have a conversation on the way home. These movies and these movie makers made a massive mistake. They thought the world was going to be a completely different political landscape. And now that it's not, they're trying to escape away and make sure that you say, yeah, I kind of remember they used to do that, but not anymore when it comes to woke. They don't want to be the next Jaguar. Poor Bud. All right, folks, that is the video for the day. We've got more coming your way. Hang tight. Talking about Jaguar, you don't want to miss out. Later tonight, we've got a video. We're going to release how badly Jaguar sales fell off a cliff after that woke marketing campaign. It's actually scaring every company on the planet to get away from woke marketing and ads. Amazing. All right, folks, until the next time, click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Yeah, I am so excited for Independence Day. You can taste the liberty and drink in all that 4th of July freedom.
Why? You're not an American, and you don't live in America. Not to mention, you're a troll, and they're from Norway.
Wait, you're saying that trolls can't have the spirit of America? How do you explain Leslie Headland? That'd also be like saying the Acolyte isn't Star Wars.
Well, I guess it's not bad to not be American and wish for that kind of freedom. But please, don't compare this situation to the Acolyte and it being Star Wars. Nothing's that bad.
Well, gosh darn it. You've given me something new to aim for.